Hello everyone, welcome to today's homework session. So we begin again on our routine. I'm glad that you guys are back. Very happy to have everybody back today. You guys did awesome. Every homeroom did it pretty great today. And just want to make sure that we are always staying on track, staying motivated. Remember that we only have 12 days left for our practice STAR exam. This is very crucial to us. This is going to let us know how are we doing so far, right? And it's going to give you kind of like a good look into, okay, this is what I know, this is what I don't know, this is what I still need to cover. Like, oh man, like it's just going to be a great resource for us to be able to decipher what is it that we still need to work on, right? So other than that, put aside, let's go ahead and go over today's homework. So today we talked about percents and what it means to be a percent when you have a total of 100. Something that I didn't mention today in class is that the word percent, if you look at the word percent, the word per literally means to be out of, and then cent is another word for 100. So it's always, a percent is always a number out of 100. So a part out of 100, that's always going to be a percent, right? And then we can, of course, turn it into a percent and then a decimal. So we talked about how in class, how when you have a 10 by 10 grid and you have one little square, so this little square here is the same thing as 1% or 0.1 or 0.10. 0.1 and 0.10 mean the exact, oops, I made a mistake. It is not 0.1, it's 0.01, okay? So I'm pretty sure some of y'all were making a little face right now. This is 0.01. This whole thing, the whole row is 0.10 or 0.1, okay? So if you look over here at the lesson summary, you have that 1% is the number 1 out of 100 and it is written as 1%. So basically, if you have 1%, that's equal to 1 out of a 100 because you have this one little box here, it's one little tiny box, and it's equal to out of 100. The total is 100. Percentages can be used as rates, as a ratio. So for example, 30% of a quantity means 30 out of 100 times the quantity. So literally, again, it's like a ratio. When you have 30%, remember, percent is just part out of a whole. Well, you have 30 out of the total 100, okay? And then we can create models of percents. One example would be to shade a 10 by 10 grid, which is what we have over here. And each square in a 10 by 10 grid represents 1% or 0.01. So that's exactly what I just did right here. So let's just go ahead and look at this first example, and I'm going to guide you through what you're going to do. It says Marisa just bought 100 acres of land. So if you notice, 100 is the total. This is your grand total. So again, should ring a bell to you that it's going to be a part out of the total. So if I have this, I have part out of total, and I know that that's going to be 100. And then it says she wants to grow apples, peaches, and cherry trees on her land. Color the model to show how the acres could be distributed for each type of tree. Using your model, complete the table. So it's not giving you a specific way to plant in the garden or in the acres of land. It's like leaving it up to you. How do you want to distribute this land? So you can distribute it however you want. You can give apple the most, or peach, or cherries, or you can give apple and peach the same amount of land, and then cherries a different amount of land. It doesn't matter, as long as your total always leads you back to 100%, then every value is valid. So here it says to use colors. I know some of us might not have colors at home, and that's okay. So just make sure that you put A for apple, peach for cherry. I'm going to put peach for cherry, P for peach, and C for cherry, just to make sure. So you're going to do this in whatever format you want. So for example, if this was me, I would probably say, oh, okay, I'm just going to be random about it. I'm going to say, okay, I want all of these, make this a little larger. I want all of these to be, I don't know, apples. I'm going to shade them in, and then I'm going to put the A for apple. This is just an example. I don't want you to come back the next day with 20 grid shaded for apples. So I'm going to put apple here, A for apple. And then in my apple, then I'm going to write the percentage. So obviously, remember, if each box is 1%, then this is 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. So each one of these rows is 10%. This is also 10%, so in total it's 20%. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the percentage as 20%. Remember that the fraction is always a part out of the total. Well, you shaded 20 squares out of the total of a percent is out of 100. And my decimal, because if this is 0.01, then in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and count again. This would be 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, 0.08, 0.09, 0.010, which is what I have here. Then this is also 0.10 or 0.010. Or 0.10, sorry. And then that in total is 0.20. So I have that here. Another small thing that you can look at or you can do is when we convert from a percent to a decimal, in all essence, what we're doing is we're taking that invisible decimal behind the 20% and we are shifting it 2 places to the left, and now it's placed here. So you're literally just moving it here to the front and removing the percent sign. Okay, that's just a small way for you to keep that in check your work. So also, if you're going vice versa from decimal to percent, then you're literally just doing this. 1, 2, so the opposite direction this time, and then putting the decimal where it belongs. That's just a reference for you, only accessible to the people that watch the YouTube channel, right? So here we go. What I want you to do is I want you to finish this up. You don't have to do 20%. I actually recommend that you do your own. So distribute it in your own as long as the total is always equal to 100%, you are okay. Let's take a look at the next one. After renovations on Kim's bedroom, only 30% of one wall is left without any decor. So 30% of the wall is left without decor. So I'm going to write 30% here like that. That has no decoration on that wall. It says she made the grid below to represent the space that is left to decorate. So she wants to know basically, well, how much space is left to decorate? What does each block represent? So what I want you to tell me again, and we just talked about it over here. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. I want you to go and tell me, okay, well, for A, one block represents, and then ... Go ahead and give me your nice statement here. So one block represents maybe the decimal and the percent and so forth. And what percent of the wall has already been decorated? So if you take a look, 30% has no decoration. So I want you to go in there and tell me, okay, this part of the wall has been decorated and this part of the wall still needs to be decorated. So this is for B, and you're going to tell me here what percent of the wall still needs to be decorated. And then that's it. That's all you're doing for today's homework. Now, please make sure to ask questions tomorrow if you still have them. This is all your homework for today. Very simple. We're just doing a percent. Remember, that means to be a part out of 100. Everything out of 100 is super easy to find the percentage and then the decimal. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great day. I'm sorry for uploading the video a little later today. It's been a hectic day, but I hope that I see you tomorrow with brand new attitudes, happy hearts, happy minds, and ready to be filled with math. Okay, 12 more days, guys. We can do this. We got this. We're gonna rock the practice star, and we're just gonna keep pushing. Okay, so have a great night. I will see you tomorrow.